G'day and welcome to DoughBoy Gaming and our live stream on Sussex Farm. Very unusual time for us to be live streaming, but we just thought we'd give it a go and just see what's going on. And g'day, we'll try that again. We just had a bit of a hiccup with one of our applications, so we just had to do a quick shutdown and restart. So, welcome to DoughBoy Gaming and to Sussex Farm on this very unusual time for us to be live streaming. Thought we'd just give it a go. We've got the wife and child number one are out, so had nothing better to do, so I thought I'd just give it a little bit of a workshop. We're going to do Gwyndy, the Welsh map, and because we moved to the version of the 2 of the map, we then reset everything, and then all of a sudden we had troubles there because of the fact that our timing is all out with seasons and a whole pile of stuff, and it kept on sort of running away with the time, so we've given up on that for now. Rubber Burner Gaming, WTF. Yes mate, it's unusual for me to be here at this time. Normally you're asleep or off with the fairies or something. But how are you, mate? Long time no speak. And for those in the live stream, if you are a part of my Discord channel and one of the VIPs, whether you be a streamer or a Patreon or whatever else, you will have access to the Discord channel. And I'm about to be back in the VIP Discord channel. So you can join in and be part of the conversation. What do you mean slow Australian friend, Rubber Burner? That's very, very unkind. Jamie Burt, how are you, mate? Magician Sim 2018. What do you mean Magician Sim? I think I've missed something there. Alright, so where are we and on Sussex Farm? It's been quite some time since we're on Sussex Farm. We have progressed through winter. We do have a wet crop condition, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to plough it all up anyway. So we are in our first day of spring, and we're off and running again with our second year. Now, the one thing I did find starting up was suddenly I had a tractor that kept on breaking down because we haven't done any maintenance on any of the equipment. So it's all due for maintenance. So we had to do a bit of maintenance on this thing to get this thing going, and it's back up and running again. But all our other equipment is going to have to go through. It's going to have to go through some maintenance. Oh yeah, sorry Jamie. Yeah, I did disappear. I had some technical issues, which seems to be the vein of my existence at the moment. But anyway, we've got that up and running now. So yeah, that's back up and running. Hopefully. DC's in the house. DC, one of my my moderators, also one of my gracious Patreons. G'day DC. I'm doing okay, mate. And yourself? I'll slip over here. So we're just gonna plough these 4 little fields up here before we get into the main fields. So for those of you that aren't aware, our nemesis, our good friend, hang on Rubber Burner, I'll sort that out so you've got access. Just give me 2 secs, guys. I've just got to sort something out. Because Rubber Burner has just joined my Discord. It's only taken him 8 months. So I'm just going to set him up. He is... There you go. Alright. So Rubber Burner has just joined my Discord. For those that also haven't joined my Discord, feel free. The details are down below. And also at the same time, don't forget to join our Simulation Gaming Society Discord. That's a Discord that's been set up by myself, Grizzly Bear Sims, and Eustace Pharmer, which is who I was about to talk about just before I adjusted things there for Rubber Burner. Yeah, so our nemesis, Eustace Pharmer, is... well, actually, I think by now he should have just landed thereabouts, or not so long ago, landed in Nevada. So he's moved from one side of America to the other. So I'm pretty safe to say we should be okay and we shouldn't have any interruptions from him, which is always a good thing. Probably part and parcel of the reason why I do stream normally when I do, because it minimises his interactions with us. That's all in jest, of course, you know that.
I missed just like 3 seconds because, you know, YouTube is behind Discord, but I get the feeling you're talking about me.
No, I was actually talking about Eustace then. So, ladies and gents, Rubber Burner's in the house. So, for those of you that aren't aware of myself and Rubber Burner, Rubber Burner is someone that I've had great pleasure in annoying many times in his streams or DoughBoy's streams over quite some time. So, I think this is a bit of payback coming. But how are you, mate?
It feels good. It feels good to reverse the roles. I'm good. How are you, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Fighting the demands of real life and all that sort of blow and all that sort of rubbish, but no, other than that, pretty good.
I hear you. Well, that's good to hear you're still alive and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely that. Unfortunately, some might say, but yeah, no, still alive and kicking. How you been?
I have been fantastic as of lately. I've taken an obvious break from YouTube and all of its somewhat pressures, and gotten back to just loving gaming again, and I've been feeling good.
Yeah, that's why I was on a bit of a downer. I hadn't seen you streaming or anything much of late, so I was sort of wondering where you'd got to, but then again, it was also a good thing not seeing you, and that meant I wasn't hearing you, so that's all right.
Oh, there it is.
David Bull, welcome, mate. David is another one of our subscribers. For those of you that aren't aware as well, David is a farmer here in Australia, and he's been doing a lot of work helping out the farmers that are in need with their droughts by providing or transporting hail. I'll learn to speak sometime today. By transporting some bales and all that sort of stuff up to needy farmers up north. So welcome, David. Good to have you here. I know he'll be surprised to see me on at this time of day, but anyway.
It was a bit of a surprise for me as well. I was just listening to some music, having myself a dark glass, and then all of a sudden I saw Duck Zorley up and going. I was like, well, I might as well go check him out.
Yeah, see, normally during the day of a weekend, I'm flat out doing football type stuff with my son, or we're doing family stuff when he's not doing football, or whatever else. The demands of having a young family and all that sort of stuff. And really, I should actually be out in the yard, cleaning up the yard and doing a bit of stuff. But the two youngest ones got in a bit of trouble today, so they missed out. We're all going to go to the movies today. And the two young ones, they were the ones that got in trouble. They weren't doing what they were told and hadn't done their chores and cleaned up their room and such. So the oldest one got to go and watch a movie with his mother, while I got to stay at home, and I supervised the girls as they're cleaning their rooms and everything else. So yeah.
Now, I would presume your football is different than the American and Canadian football?
We're talking real football here, mate. We're talking soccer. So the real football.
I'm not arguing. I don't follow American Canadian football whatsoever.
Yeah, the problem over here in Australia is we have 4 different variants of football. So you have football, which is football, so soccer. You then have rugby league. You have rugby union, and then you have the Australian football, or AFL. So yeah, we have numerous codes, and they all call themselves football, but the only true one is football or soccer.
That just sounds complicated.
It is, it is. But anyway, alright, what we're going to do is we're going to head on over here. We're going to do this little field over here while we're here. We're going to get 26 ploughed up, even though we probably just could cultivate it. We'll give it a plough while we're over here. Do have to do some work on the animals as well. So what have we got in chat? So Deesa says, surprised to see it around at all. Yeah, I know. What's also a matter, one of the things that sort of makes it difficult as well is I know most of the people that are interested in my channel, if you could say that is actually the way it is, but most of my viewers are American, and it just purely from timing and all that sort of stuff, it makes it difficult for a lot to watch my live streams when I would normally live stream, because it's normally sort of like what, about midday or early morning for you guys generally when I'm streaming. It's the same as when most of you guys are streaming. It's during the day, so I watch like Farmer Klein or Jerry, as in Grizzly Bear Sims, or anyone else. I generally watch their streams at work during the day if I'm not flat out with work. So I know it can be a little bit difficult, so I thought, well, normally I try and do a weekend morning stream, but I just haven't felt up to it. But I thought I'd try one about this time, mainly because I noticed that over a weekend this is sort of when Klein and a few of the others go live as well. So this should be, I believe, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but it's around evening, early to late evening, depending on where you are in the US at the moment. So maybe it gives a chance for more of my US viewers to get in and have a bit of a chat and have a bit of a look at what we're doing. So that's the reason for it. Plus, when the wife's not around, I can get into doing it, because I don't get the, oh, you sound like an idiot doing that. Who would listen to you doing that? Who would watch you playing that game? So, but anyway.
Who would listen to you playing any game?
Sorry?
I said, who would listen to you playing any game?
Well, hey, look, this is true. That's why I'm surprised I even had one subscriber to start with, and that was my son, because I forced him to subscribe. So, hey, it's you got to look at the positives, mate. You got to look at the positives.
Have you ever been a fan or a player of American Truck Simulator?
Yep, I play ATS quite a lot. Same as ETS 2. I just don't stream it very much or record it.
I'm sure you're aware of the new DLC coming soon.
Yep, which hits in 4 days' time, actually.
Yeah, that's right. And there is very good, very credible information that we're getting a new truck along with it.
As in a new version or a new brand?
New brand.
Okay. That'll be interesting.
There's a lot of people talking that it's going to be the Volvo, but we also have International and Freightliner both confirmed at this point in time. So there's a lot of big things coming for that game real soon.
Yeah, see, Freightliner I wouldn't mind seeing. I mean, Volvo, that doesn't faze me so much, because I mean that's in ETS too. But you see I'm actually quite surprised. You see quite a lot of Freightliner here in Australia. And in fact, a couple of the big trucks I saw recently at AgQuip, the big Australian agricultural showcase festival that I have been blogging about and stuff. They had some very nice and very big Freightliners there, which looked awesome. And I mean, obviously we have the Kenworth, and we don't have so much the way of Peterbilt. So it is also always nice to sort of relate to the equipment that you're sort of playing in a game. It sort of makes it that much more immersive, and I got much more of an appreciation for farming sim after going to that, because so much of the equipment that's in the game, whether it be natively or from mods, was what I was actually able to climb all over and look at and all that sort of stuff. Oh, wrong button. Yeah, so I mean that'll be, Freightliner will be good, but we'll have to keep an eye out for that. Definitely.
That kind of surprises me. You don't see much Peterbilt when you have Kenworth there, because they are obviously the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of it's just that branding thing. I think it's Kenworth is sort of been the brand, the go-to brand, along with Mack and Caterpillar over here, I guess. I mean, look, I'm no trucking expert here, but I mean that's the sort of ones that I've noticed more so than anything. And sometimes you won't necessarily get all the brands sort of come out. It's like I know for a long while we didn't have any class out here, for instance. I mean, it's brought out by Agco, and Agco's been out here with Massey Ferguson and all that sort of stuff for many years, but it's just one of those things, I guess. I guess they just decide whether they want to. I mean, look, if someone, David Bulls probably would know more than what I would in relation to that. I mean, if you're aware of anyone that actually has Peterbilts and they're out here commonly, then let me know. But I certainly haven't seen much in the way of Peterbilts here in Australia. Do a bit of catch up with chat. Sorry, Jamie Burt, football, soccer, footies, everything else. Yeah, that's right. I'm not going to argue with you at all there, Jamie. Yeah, you're spot on. Don't want to run into that hedge. What else we got? DC says usually 5:36 a.m, 8:15 p.m. on the way. So yeah, so normally when I stream it's about 5:36 a.m. in the morning for most of the guys in the States, and it's currently 8:15 p.m. on the West Coast, which would make it, oh God knows, I'm no good at converting time, so I'm not going to bother doing it on the fly. Chris Webb's in chat, my good friend Chris. How are you, buddy? Robert Muller's in chat. Hey, Robert.
Hey, Chris. Hey, Rob.
And guys, like I said before, we are in the VIP voice channel on Discord, so my Patreons, most of my moderators have access to that, so if you wish to come on over and join in with the chat, feel free. I mean, I'm putting up a rubber burner, so welcome additions would be good, so I don't have to listen to just him all the time. Robert says he noticed more Volvo and Isuzu out in the rural areas. Yeah, you do see a fair bit of Isuzu, but not so much the real big trucks. I haven't noticed much in their real big stuff, but...
I'll tell you, my biggest thing is I'm just looking forward to seeing more trucks in multiplayer. I don't care what it is. I'm still probably going to stick with my Kenworth or Peterbilt, but I just look forward to seeing more trucks in multiplayer. There's only 4 right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Is there 4 in ATS? What brands are there in ATS? You've got
You've got 2 Kenworth trucks and 2 Peterbilt trucks.
Yeah, so there's still only the 2 brands though, isn't there?
No, there's 2 Kenworth, 2 Peterbilt.
Yeah, but so you have a Kenworth brand and you have a Peterbilt brand.
Yes, yeah. More than one brand.
You got more. You got 2 brands, but you got a few models for each.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes.
But the way things are going to be is we have Freightliner and what was the other one? Freightliner and
Volvo.
No, not Volvo. Volvo isn't technically confirmed, although that's what everybody thinks is coming. Brain fart here. International. That's the other one confirmed.
Oh, International. So yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Freightliner and International both confirmed. That could mean that we have more than one truck from each company coming.
Possibly. International is a brand that we see a lot of over here, particularly older internationals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could see 2 or 3 trucks from each of these companies. So all of a sudden we could go from 4 trucks to 8 trucks.
Yep.
Now, obviously, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be within 6 months, a year. But you know, anything to grow the game a little bit is good.
So Robert says Kenworth, Peterbilt, Scania, I think. Well, that's possible. It's possible. Chris Webb's in the house. He's in the Discord chat. G'day, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
He might just be lurking, not speaking. Now, I have to thank Chris too. He sent me a mod yesterday, day before. which is the no grass mod destruction mod, which our good friend GTX Andy was talking about apparently one of my streams many moons ago, which I had forgotten all about and Chris hadn't, but he meant to give it to me anyway. He gave it to me, so yeah, I've got that. I did notice it's not working on Gwendir though, but I've got a lot of issues on Gwendir at the moment, so I've got to rebuild that one from scratch, so we'll see what happens there.
I'll be right back.
No worries, mate. Thanks for the warning. Alright, so while we're here, we might as well talk about some other stuff. I promise I'm not going to rant today. Definitely no rants about Farming Simulator 19, as long as no one mentions the name of that four-legged animal that you're not supposed to talk about. But during the week we had some more, well, we had our Friday fact sheets. So we got some more details about the cotton module harvester. So the case, what was it, the 935 I think it is off the top of my head, with one of the little trailers for the cotton. Now the big trailer that was also previewed in the second last video we saw, the harvesting video, I have found that in real life, but I can't, the branding of it seems to be a bit of a bitzer. It's got components from a couple of different brands, like the trailer frame itself is different, a brand, and then the wheels at the back for the loading is a different brand. Anyway, so I can confirm it's definitely out there. So the trailer they are using, branded as the Lizard trailer, is definitely a real trailer. And what was the other thing they had on there as well? I can't remember now. Oh, there was the Breadnar, which is the multifaceted cultivator, plough, all that sort of thing. So that's quite interesting. But I am planning on doing a Farming Simulator 19 facts video. And
oh, don't be like all those other D-bags.
No, I'm not going to be like them. I'm actually just going to talk about it anecdotally. Plus, there's a lot of stuff we already know about that hasn't come out on fact sheet. So we're just going to talk generally about the sort of gear we got, all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to go through the fact sheets one by one, all that sort of stuff. I mean, everyone can read. There's no point doing that. So, yeah, I'm just going to do a video and just talk about what we know about Farming Simulator 19 so far. That's it. That's coming. I also do have my top 10 mods and top 10 maps video getting close to completion again after I lost the first ones with my hard drive failure. So they're almost back to the state where I was at when I was about to launch those. And yeah. So, but anyway. So Chris says my mic wasn't working. I think I have it now. Well, try speaking to us. You're pressing the key, but we can't hear you, Chris. Anyway. So, the thing is too, obviously with that last video we had more details about the lime. So for those of you that aren't aware, with the lime, it's basically, it's not like the weeds where it's really, I suppose, needed, because you are going to have weeds, as I understand it, grow through any and all crops. So it is a process you will have to deal with. But with the lime, as I understand it from people I've spoken to, is that it will replace you having to re-plough the fields, and will provide you with your 10% crop bonus, the same as what you get for re-ploughing. So so that'll be after the first harvest. You'll be using the lime. So where did that New Holland come from? I got no idea, Klein. So welcome to the stream. I think, actually, I think this is actually one of Stevie's New Hollands. To be honest, in fact, that'd probably be definitely where I got it from. Oh, by the way, whoever said, am I watching the final today? No, I can't be bothered watching the final. I'm really not in. I used to be into rugby league. I'm really not that keen of it anymore. I still follow it, sort of just to sort of see how my team goes, and that's as far as I'm going to talk about that. But it's okay, it's not Parramatta. But no, I'm not interested in watching that. Same as I wasn't interested in watching the final yesterday for the AFL. So I do want to do, actually, one thing about that, I do want to do a shout out. Not a lot of you will know, but we got some very sad motoring news here in Australia yesterday. Bob Jane, one of the preeminent Australian motor vehicle or race car drivers, and a great business owner and developer and all that sort of stuff, who got shafted by his own son. He unfortunately passed away yesterday, just 1 week prior to Bathurst, which he was the first man to win. So Vale Bob Jane, and certainly I'm hoping that the guys at Bathurst next week put a nice big tribute up for him, because it is a loss to our motor racing circuit and a big identity to be lost. So yeah, anyway, so that was it. Oh. All right. So I think after we play out this one, we might go and do something a bit different. We might go and look after our sheep and see what we're going to do there. I don't think Chris has worked it out yet. Chris, it helps if you plug your microphone in, by the way.
He's trying, he's just not succeeding.
So I was saying the other day, Rub Burner, we need to do another one of those big 24-hour live streams, I think.
You know, it's funny, I was thinking that there just a little while ago, like within the past couple days. I was thinking that, and that would be a really good idea. Problem is, I have zero interest in Farming Simulator 17.
I was actually going to contact everyone, because I mean, we've been using this channel so far for some good. We've helped out and sort of made one of our subscribers, Aussie Medic. He's got a very, very ill wife at the moment, and they're being really shafted by the hospital system and the government at the moment, and so they were going through a bit of a tough time. So we did a live stream, and we raised some money for just to get some flowers and sort of put a bit of a smile on their face and forget about things for a little bit. So we did that, and we also did a big drive for Bullet Bill. His PC had died, and for those of you that aren't aware of Bullet Bill, who's the author and one of the co-founders of Frontier Designs, but has authored like Coldbrook Park Farm, Lone Oak Farm,
modder.
The West Coast. He's probably one of the best map modders in the game. I know a lot of you don't like tight and very detailed European style maps, although Lone Oak's definitely not that. His maps aren't for everyone, but the quality in his maps.
He's done some very American maps too.
Oh, look, absolutely. Absolutely, but unfortunately there's a lot of people that just don't like him and Frontier Designs just for the sake of not liking him. But anyway, so he's actually suffering from a reasonably debilitating medical condition and all that sort of stuff, and he's got a young family and all that sort of stuff, and unfortunately I believe the family has sold Coldbrook Park Farm, their farm, and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, so we put the word out, and we pushed a drive to get him a new PC, and we did that. We were quite successful with that. I think it was within about 48 hours he had, I think it was about £2,000 or something, so more than enough to buy a really good PC, so to make sure he was ready for Farming Sim 19, which is what we want him to be. So we like using the channel not for me to make money. I mean, that's certainly not what it's for, but if we can help out others that are in need, that's what I'd like to do. So getting back to my original comment, one of the things I was thinking about trying to get everyone together for was to do a 12 or 20, probably not a 24 hour, because I don't think I'd be able to do it myself due to real life, but looking at doing something where I can raise a bit of money for our farmers here in Australia that are in dire straits with this drought that's been going on for like 15 years. So I was thinking about something like that, but anyway, just a thought. I'll have a chat with a few guys and see what we can do. But I'd certainly like to do something for our farmers. I know farmers around the world at different times are going through it, but I tell you, a 15-year drought, and we're not talking just a little bit dry, we're talking drought. 15 years is a pretty hard slog, and at the moment, unfortunately, the highest suicide rate in Australia at the moment is actually from farmers and their families, and that's pretty sad. I mean, it was bad enough with our veterans, some of my colleagues and stuff like that have committed suicide, but the farmers, I mean, that's the lifeblood of our life. So yeah. But anyway, we'll get back to that. I don't want to be a downer stream and sort of talking about the bad things all the time, but certainly what we need to look at. So I'll be in touch, Rubber Burner. We'll see what we can do.
No, this idea just kind of. I just want to jump in here. This idea just kind of came to me. What if a 24-hour or 12-hour live stream were to happen for the release of FS19?
Yeah. Yeah, that's certainly.
There's obviously going to be a metric butt ton of people who are going to be looking for FS19 videos at all hours of the day for 24 hours.
No, that's not such a bad idea. Did you come up with that idea?
All on my own.
Oh Jesus, that's not a bad idea. I think we might look at that. I might, yeah. Let's sort of have a chat. See if we can get all the guys in. We'll get Johnny V. Perhaps even get Eustace, Jerry,
Johnny V, DoughBoy,
DoughBoy, yeah, Ice. See if we can even get like Virtual Farmer or Sims STFN or Sim Nation or whoever in. Yeah, let's see how we go. Yeah, good idea.
That could be a really cool idea right there.
So there you go, guys. Stay tuned. We may have a really big announcement coming in for Farming Simulator 19. A nice big live stream.
Yet,
yeah. Just stay tuned, just in case. You'll hear it first. Well, maybe not first, but pretty close. Dal N. G'day, Dal. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Tassie Nate Gamer. G'day, Tassie. You'd be in for that, would you? Excellent. And also for any... Hey, what was that? Was that Chris?
I think I got it now.
Oh, Chris has got it now. He's plugged his microphone in. G'day, Chris. How are you, bud?
Welcome, buddy.
Good, you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Not too bad. And don't forget, guys, if you're new to the channel and you like the idiocy that you see here and you like listening to my stupid accent or whatever else, or you just want to put up with it, don't forget to hit the like button or the subscribe button, preferably both. If you want to hit the dislike button, that's fine too, because that just means that you've been here anyway. I keep on pressing the wrong button. Sorry, what was that?
Dislike sounds like a good idea.
You're a bastard.
I'll hit the like button once you've rolled something.
Oh, I don't roll things, mate. I didn't go to the Rubber Burner School of Driving. The only thing I do is I run into things. Or I drive off bridges on Sosnovka Knot and dump an entire load of fuel into the river. Tassie says, yes, mate, and my crew, mate, that'd be fantastic. That'd be fantastic. I'll be in touch, and you know what we've got planned. I'll certainly have our server configured as quickly as we possibly can, and we'll get some details going together and see what we can work out.
The Sosnovka one was epic.
Yeah, well, we don't need to mention that anymore, because otherwise Rubber Burner will go looking for it and he'll record it and keep on playing it back to me or something.
I've done sent the link into his Discord.
Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, thanks very much. Your loyalty is greatly appreciated, bastard. Tassie, I'm in Sydney, but strangely enough, I'm actually a Taswegian by birth. So not that I tell people that publicly very much, but there you go. Now, whether or not you're a Taswegian or not, I can't remember actually if you've ever said you were, but purely by nickname, it sort of correlates. So I just thought I'd give you that extra info.
Did you ever meet the Tasmanian devil?
I am the Tasmanian devil. Apparently, especially when I sleep. Anyway.
Oh dear.
Yeah. As in, that's the sort of sounds I make when I'm sleeping, apparently. David says he's doing another hay run in 3 weeks. That'll be awesome, Dave. Actually, David, I think I asked you previously, am I able to share the photos you share with me about your trips and stuff? I just want to make sure. Because David does actually send me photos of the stuff he's doing and also photos of his equipment and all that sort of stuff. So I'll be sure to if he lets me share them, I'll share them on the Discord channel so everyone can see what's going on. Kiwi Rob, how are you, mate?
Hey, Kiwi.
Yeah, I was pretty sure you were, Taz. So I don't have to look you up on YouTube, mate. I already know. I know you. I know your channel. It's all good.
Alright, this is where I call it quits.
Oh, thank God for that.
I heard that. Like, it hurts me, bro. Like, no. I thought we were enemies, but friends at the same time.
We're frenemies, mate. We're frenemies.
I wish everybody a wonderful evening, except for, of course, Dex Orley. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Mate, take care. Take care, Rubber Burner. I appreciate you coming in, mate, and you know as well as I do that's all in good jest, and I do miss hanging out with you, bud. So you take care, and we'll talk to you soon, eh?
See you guys.
And I'm never going to be that nice again. Piss off. Oh dear. All right. Fred Penning's in the house. Kiwi Rob's in the house. G'day, gents. How are you, bud? Tassie Nate's down on the farm at the moment. Okay, excellent. Guys, the other thing is too, just as an aside, I know a lot of people watch Walker Farms and a few other live farmers and that as well. And not that this guy knows that I'm going to be doing this at all, because I've only just started watching his channel probably the last couple of days. But those of you that aren't aware, Millennial Farmer, and I know Farmer Klein and a few of the others are going to get stuck into this. Go and watch him out. Like at the moment, he's about to do. He's preparing for his big corn harvest. But I've been watching some of his videos, and I'm actually enjoying his videos. He's quite funny at times. So go check it out, Millennial Farmer. The only probably unfortunate part is he does like a lot of John Deere stuff. But he has got a nice new Challenger that he's using trying out at the moment. And
John Deere brought you to his channel, ain't it?
Sorry?
John Deere's what brought you to his channel.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I went to his channel just for his John Deere. No, it was I can't remember what it was. It was something about it's one of his videos. I can't remember what it was. It was about that's right. He was having trouble with his augers, and I went and had a look at that, and then watched the rest of his channels. And the funny part is, like, he's got a young daughter and a young son and stuff like that. And yesterday's episode, or the day before, he had his daughter climbing up on the tractor, and she fell off and got concussion. And all that. Not that part's funny, but that was all covered in the video and all that sort of stuff. And his wife's in the videos occasionally. It's a really good channel, so I recommend it to go check it out. I will post a link in my Discord channel. I'll send him a message just to let him know that I'm letting people, not that I want to sort of know, but I think he's actually doing a good job. So for those that want to see a bit of real life farming, I don't even know exactly where he lives, but Minnesota, that's right. Yes. Yeah, but go check him out. You'll enjoy it. I'm sure you will. So yeah.
He's got good videos.
Yeah, he does. And I mean, look, I watched some of the Walker Farm ones and some of their stuff was good in like when they're rebuilding some of the machines and stuff like that. But the rest, I haven't really sort of enjoyed that much. But his stuff, I mean, he's got a good sense of humour, family friendly. Goes in a lot of detail of what he has to do in the maintenance work of his combines and all that sort of stuff, and I find it really good. So go check it out, Millennial Farmer. And again, like I said, I'll put a link in Discord.
Have you seen the one where he toured the Fiat plant?
Yes, yeah, I did link that already in my Discord channel, I think, because that was amazing. He went through the Fent plant. What's Fent plant? Yeah, it was the Agco, wasn't it? Actually, it's at the Agco plant.
Agco, yes, yeah.
Did a tour of the Agco factory, and that was amazing. Like the fact that they don't run. Yeah, we'll do, Tassie, we'll do, not a problem. Oh, this damn button box! I keep pressing the wrong button. Because, of course, it's the button box problem because the buttons keep on moving. Yeah, no, the factory, and if you haven't seen the video already, go and check it out, because the amazing thing with that Agco factory is they don't do a run of one particular model or branding of tractor. So they just do as per the orders that come in. So you can have a Fent followed by two Massies, followed by another Fent, followed by whatever. And it's truly amazing. It really is a very, very interesting video. So I urge you all to go check it out. And again, that'll be my Discord channel.
What do you think of the robot that takes the parts from one place to the other?
Oh, I thought that was amazing. The amount of work that it cuts down and safety and all that sort of stuff. That's, yeah, it was really, really interesting. I mean, I've seen a lot of the how do they do it shows and all that on the pay-per-view, or not pay-per-view, but pay TV, and some of them are very interesting. But I thought that Agco plant was just really, really interesting in many facets of it. It was quite a good watch. So yeah, recommend anyone to go and check it out. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the big new Holland over here. Now I got on the newest version of this, actually, at Agco, and boy, I tell ya, this thing is a huge tractor in real life. Actually, hang on, let me just double check. I want to make sure. Yeah, it is the T9. I just want to make sure this wasn't a different model that I was thinking of. But the T9 in real life is just huge, as too is the Steiger. It was one thing I was surprised at, and certainly one of the things that that my son and my daughters, probably my son more so, took away was, and I mentioned this in my blog, about how big some of these tractors really are. And you don't really get a real good perception for those of us that aren't around farm equipment and that every day of the week and see all this nice, well, this really big stuff. And it's like, for instance, the Reboat Ninja, and I did make a comment again in my Discord channel on the Farming Simulator 19 hype one about scaling. I think the scaling is very much modified in the game, because I was standing by a Reboat Ninja, the exact same model that is in the game, and I tell you, I wasn't any taller than the wheels on that thing. It is such a tall and big thing, it is not funny. And I was just simply amazed at the size of some of the machinery that's out there, and it was really, really good. David, I've said to my wife that when we come down near you at some stage, I'm going to come and visit, because I want to have a look at your big John Deere, just for the fact of the size of it, with the bloody triple wheels on it. And now I know your neighbour's got a T9. I'm in. I'm there. I'm there. Just don't give me the keys. All right.
No, he'll wreck it.
What are you trying to say? Now, I don't know if I...
Honestly, I think I said it.
Did I leave? Yeah, I did leave it over here. So we're going to come over here and check our wool. So we've got plenty of wool to get rid of again. Need to take these over to the Are they all full? Yep, so I need to get the trailer and grab those. Actually, while we're here, we'll just fill up the water because we've also got to get some grass bales. So what we're gonna do is we'll grab them, we'll take the wool round. Oh, here we go. Now we're gonna have trouble. We'll go to some maintenance first. So it'll probably take us about 6 or 7 goes to get there because it'll keep on conking out. Word of advice, guys, make sure you always do your maintenance on your machinery before you get to the new year, because otherwise you get to this sort of problem where you can't drive anywhere because you've got to keep on starting your engine to try and get there. Well, he's done better than the T9, because the T9 would only go about 10 metres without conking out before I started streaming. Alright, so we'll give him a bit of maintenance. Okay. He's all good. So what's everyone else got planned for today? I mean, it's a long weekend here in Australia, so we've got tomorrow off as well, which we're really looking forward to. What am I going to do tomorrow? I don't know. I might well, I don't know. Anyway. What were my issues on the other map? Okay, well, so firstly I transitioned from Gwen Deere version 1 to version 2. That was an issue in itself, in the fact that all my equipment and all that had to move. Now I've just realised something. So what I have to do, I don't know if I've got muscles on or not. Yeah, I do. It's going to move these bales, even though I shouldn't really be doing it this way. Because I don't want to pick up that one that started, that new one, with the trailer. Because as you all know, we don't use forks very often around here at DoughBoy Gaming, and we certainly don't use non-auto loading trailers because we make a mess of things. Alright. How about going over here and get this trailer? Yeah, so changing to version 2 caused some issues, obviously, with the placement of some equipment, because I didn't realise that they'd changed the farmyard as much as they did. So I had tractors and trailers and implements hanging out of roofs and in all sorts of places I couldn't get to. So that was a problem in itself. Then we set up our seasons, all that, and tried to get everything back to where we were. And I don't know whether it was a copy and paste error or something, but for some reason when we transitioned from the first to the second day of spring, it goes into timer override and it just runs and runs and runs and it won't stop. So at the moment, I as soon as I do a transition, whether it be manually or not watching what I'm doing, yeah, whether it be manually or automatically, as in just let the time go over, or I do a transition with the Alt N to skip night, it just goes into runaway and I can't clear it off. So anyway. Yeah, so unfortunately that's what's going on with Gwen Deere. So I've just got to go work out exactly what's going on with seasons, because I think it's primarily just the season settings that are causing the problem. And then once I've got that fixed, then hopefully I can get back on there. I've just finished doing the redoing the new yard. I've got a new equipment yard there as well, and so I'd be ashamed to lose it. But anyway, that's where we're at with that. So we'll just sort of see where we go. Plenty of wool in here now, which is good. All right, let's go get some hay, some grass bales. And we will get grass bales today because being in spring, doesn't have to worry about it. So we're going to go over here, unload some grass bales, and we'll get 6, and then we'll get another 6 again. Okay.
That's what I was having a problem with Shamrock before I realized that it had a problem with seasons.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when it went to transition to the next day, it just the little spin wheel just kept going, kept going, kept going.
Okay, so something similar to what I've got at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think this is more my problem. I think it's something more that I've introduced more so than the game itself. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, we'll work it out. But I'm really enjoying Gwendir. That's part of the issue I have. But anyway, other news I have in relation to my maps. What does Tassie Nate say? Sorry, Robert Muller. You still here, mate? Or can someone put this stream up in my Discord so the others can watch it, please? Oh, that's nice of you, Taz. Robert, go and do it. Come on, Robert. My Discord chat is low volume. I don't know how to increase my Discord chat volume, actually. I wonder if I just go... Sorry, I'll just bug out of there. And if I go to my volume mixer. Alright, we'll see how that goes now. So, Chris, do you want to speak and see if Klein thinks it's any better?
You hear me any better, Farmer Klein?
We'll wait for him to respond. But Dal says that's interesting issues you both have. Mate, I have lots more issues than that. That's just the easy ones. The one thing I have just done too is I was just about to go say about was I was playing on Lone Oak Farm last night. I was just having a muck about with that, preparing for another live stream, or sorry, another recording for Go Big or Go Home, and I've just managed to let's have a look and see what we've got. I've just done a new storage area on that, and oh, I had nothing but problems because there's not a piece of flat land anywhere on that map. So finding a spot to put an equipment area so you can put basically the bale storage sheds and some equipment sheds on was just a pain to find. But anyway, so that video, there's a behind the scenes video I've released for my Patreon only, or for my Patreons only, I should say more specifically, and that's in the Discord channel, the Patreon Discord channel. So for my patrons, you can go check that out. It's a time lapse because obviously it took some time to do all the land terrain manipulations. Well, not terrain manipulation, but the ground cover and all that sort of stuff. So you can go check that out when you like. But my patrons will be getting some videos more akin to that more regularly as I can, as a thank you for supporting the channel. Indeed, that will be very interesting. Because one of the things that was very, very frustrating in doing that. Oh, there is Jamie. Sounds interesting. I'll have to either link that in my Discord channel if you don't mind, or I'll have to go search for that. Yeah, one of the things I found that was very annoying, but turn that off, was in particular I couldn't. I wanted to put one of the seed production places down, and it was always going to be about half a foot to a foot off the ground, which meant you had this big, because there was no ramps either, so you had this big step up to get to do anything, and it was just really, really annoying. So yeah, but anyway, all right, let's have a look, see what we've got left to do here now. So we've now ploughed up we've got 4 of our fields over here ploughed. This one over here, I don't think any of our grass is obviously going to be ready for some time. So our grass is still got a bit of time. So all these fields are already planted for the AI, which is fine. I'll link it soon in Discord. That'll be great. Thanks, Jamie, and I'll share that. That'll be fantastic. So really, we've just got a lot of ploughing to do. I might just go and use a cultivator though on 12, 13, and 16. I think they need ploughing as well. Okay, well, I guess we're just going to do some more ploughing. Going to be quite boring. No, exactly, Dal, and that's what Chris was just saying. For those of you that aren't aware, the placeables will actually flatten the terrain around them. So where now, for instance, you have that exact problem. In fact, let's have a look at that. What I'll do is we'll go out here and we'll just talk about it. Oh, fantastic. Thanks, Tassie. I really appreciate it, buddy. So if for instance, we wanted to place a placeable here, for instance, right? So this is quite non-flat ground, okay? Now, if we want to place a placeable being... where's one of the ones I want to do? Are they in here? Yes, so this is what I wanted to place on Lone Oak Farm. So you can see here that it won't append itself to the level of where it wants to append. So you have this great big, in fact, I can put it up here. So that's where it'll place. Okay, and that's obviously not what we want. So even though it does sort of have a ramped, on this particular one here, it does have a slightly ramped concrete base, it won't actually append itself to the level it needs to, or in any way, shape or form. So the only way of actually placing that is in actual flat area, which makes it very, very difficult. It'd be nice, and apparently what Farming Simulator 19 will do is, in this instance, to a degree, it won't do it all the way if it can't manipulate all the ground around it. It will actually self-level this ground here. So, for instance, this would actually be down on a level piece of ground. It would actually level everything around it. Yeah, that's what we're just talking about, Taz. So that is one of the probably the best features, I think, coming in for Farming Simulator 19. And I mean, really, it's a given, because I mean, if they're going to have the farming the way they've got it with producing your own farm and laying it all out, you've got to have that ability that if you're trying to place something on an area that's not really exclusively flat, then it's got to inherently make some adjustment to the terrain layer, because otherwise you're not going to be able to do it, and people are going to get frustrated, and it's not going to be a very good system and all that sort of stuff. So yeah. All right, so I'm going to grab our T9 again. Now, someone asked, who was it asked about how many New Hollands we've got? David did. Okay, let's have a quick look. So we've got an N series. We've got a T7 heavy duty. Another T7 heavy duty. A couple of T6s. We've got T7 tier 4. A T5. An 8340. A big T9. I think that's about... Oh no, there's a T8. We've got a telehandler. We got the power baler. I love this thing, especially when you're doing a bale challenge. That should be about it. And we got the combine. Yep. So that's it. So I don't know, probably about 10 or 11, David. All right. And of course, I've got the most. Oh, have I got the most? Oh, I don't think I do. I don't think I've got a Xerion 4000 on this, or 5000. All right. Let's get back to it. So we'll do this little field over in here first. New Holland is probably one of the most underutilized brands I've used, probably particularly since starting the YouTube channel. Certainly when I was playing solo and the game first came out, I was pretty much exclusively using New Holland. Certainly the New Holland CR1090 was my combine of choice, but obviously as mods and all that came out, and I begun to really sort of love the class equipment, it was nothing but class for a long period of time. And I mean, as most of you know that have been with me for a little bit of time now, that just recently we've sort of started trying to shake things up, and hence that's why we're using the those horrible green things. No, Tassie, you gotta be in this channel, mate. You gotta be careful about mentioning John Deere. We're not really big fans of John Deere, but yeah, it has softened a little bit. I'll admit. But yeah, there's John Deere's on other maps, but definitely no John Deere's on this one. Yeah, so we've sort of made sure we're consciously sort of shaking things up a bit, because if you look at my early videos, they were just purely Class, little bit of Massey Ferguson, and that was primarily it. That was the brand I was using, because that's the brand I like the look of, and all that sort of stuff. And in fact, you got to be careful what you're saying in chat too, Tassie. Don't mention those four-legged animals that are coming in Farming Simulator 19. Okay, I'm giving you a warning. Don't mention them. Yeah, so I've consciously sort of made sure that we shake it up a bit, because I mean, obviously people are going to get bored. They don't want to see the same sort of brand all the time, all that sort of stuff. And that's part of the reason why I gave John Deere a bit of a start. So we started off with Lone Oak, using a bit of John Deere because it sort of fit. Gwen Deere, we've used pretty much John Deere exclusively on that one as well. Probably pretty much to get it out of our system, so as when 19 comes along, we don't have to touch it. But and the best part about Farming Simulator 19 is there's only one John Deere combine. Thank God. I'm just stirring people up, because there's a lot of people that have got some angst about that. But anyway. But yeah, so I mean that's the reason why we sort of shake it up a bit. So this map, we decided when we started, was going to be pretty much exclusively New Holland, because we hadn't done much New Holland at all since we sort of started the channel and started streaming and recording and stuff. So no, the dog is fine, Dow. It's not the dog that's the problem. And like I said, we're not going to get into a rant today. Our rant was the last couple of live streams. But mind you, I do warn you, there is a rant video coming very soon about Farming Simulator 19. But we'll leave that for another time. We'll leave that for another time. Suffice to say, even though, and I must say I've actually written to Giants about something I've actually asked them permission for, but I don't think that I'm going to be on Giants' Christmas card list any time that soon. I don't think, but anyway, we'll see. We'll see. Farmer Klein's giving it away altogether. Lucky he's a moderator. It doesn't affect him. Although I could ban him just for saying it. Yeah, no, you're right, Jamie. It's definitely part of the Aussie DNA. We definitely love a good rant. Now I remember how to get into this. Sorry?
I like to hear a good rant.
Oh, do you? Well, mine aren't necessarily good rants, but sometimes I enjoy them.
The Sim Station does some pretty good ones too.
I haven't caught any of his actual rants, though. I have to go and check it out. I don't mind hearing people have a good rant.
They can get pretty funny.
My only thing is, I mean, you hear some, and this is probably a thing in general with YouTube, you get some people that go on a rant and then they just start swearing and carrying on. That's my point exactly, Tassie. My point exactly. What's the point? See, you've got me going already. Just said one sentence. Yeah, I mean that's it exactly. I mean, the thing that puts me off a lot of people is they start to swear. I mean, look, it's. I know it's my choice to have a G-rated stream, and there are reasons for that. And I know, like, even what I refer to as G-rated and what, say, for instance, DoughBoy or Farmer Klein refer to as G-rated are different. So my G rating is an Aussie G rating system. In the fact that things like shit and crap, well, they come in the constraints of a G rating. But that's about the furthest extent that it goes. Now, some of these people that get on and have a rant and they just want to blow all these great swear words out every second word. I mean, it does nothing for them. It does not. Well, I mean, obviously, sometimes it actually gets them a lot of subscribers because people enjoy watching it. But I mean, I can assure you, after spending 15 years in the military, where a swear word was every second word as part of policy, it's not something that's neither enjoyable nor needed. And I certainly don't necessarily adhere to the premise that you need to use vulgar or obscene language at any stage to get your point across. So that's the only thing I don't like about a lot of people that do start their rants and all that sort of stuff. And our rants are generally fairly much a totally G-rated rant, so rest assured that you get that. But however, you ask me one-on-one and you might get a bit of a different answer. All the Aussie slang. Yeah, there's a little bit of slang comes in every now and again. I did try at one stage. We started doing a Broadacre series, and I did basically an intro to that, and I was doing it very, very much in Aussie vernacular, and honestly, I got so many complaints. I had so many private messages about saying, oh, Australians don't really speak like that. This is not realistic. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, mate, you really have no understanding of how the dialect of Australia really varies depending on where you go. And one bloke sent me a message saying, Australians never call each other cobber. What are you doing? Da da da. I'm like, and so I emailed him back. I said, mate, you need to get a bit more fair dinkum or go flush yourself down the local dunny. And all I got back was just swearing and carrying on. I'm like, man. So I sort of asked him, I said, well, where are you from? And he goes, I'm from Idaho. And I'm like, yeah, well, you really know how we speak then in Australia, don't you, you dickhead? But anyway. See, and even that's bordering on the G rating, I know, but yeah, exactly. You go back 50, 60 years, and that was exactly how we'd speak. And I mean, even now, there's a lot of Australia. I mean, my uncle who's got a farm down in Tassie, he calls everyone cobber, and it's just yeah, it just depends on where you are, how you were brought up. But particularly the more rural areas, you hear more of it. But like sucker the sav and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, it's all good. It's all good. Send them Nick Cummins interviews, Duck. DC says, "Hey, we're not all that bad in Idaho. Hey, you're not all that good either." No, I'm sorry. No, it was just the one I remember. There was a couple of them in particular. And when I asked them where they were from, they were like, one guy said he was an Australian. But I very much doubt that because I asked him, well, if you're Australian, you'll understand where this comes from and why we say it. And he didn't bother replying. So either he just ignored it or just was sort of being caught out. I don't really care. But I mean, look, it's the one thing that makes us Aussies a little bit different to everyone else. And probably in many ways, shapes and forms, our attitudes and a lot of other things. But yeah, it does make us a bit different, I know. Our outlook on life is definitely different. Farmer Klein says, we know how you all speak because we watch Crocodile Dundee. Yeah, we all speak like that. The Crocodile Hunter, now, you see, he was a prime example of how some do. Now, I actually had the pleasure of meeting Steve Irwin many years ago. Our ship pulled into Brisbane. We had a port visit in Brisbane, and we had a cocktail party on board the ship one night, and he was one of the guests. And I can vouch that 100%, just him talking just normally to everyone, you get the crike, you got the crikeys, you got everything. He was he was probably 95% in real life as what you got on camera. I can vouch for that. And he was a lovely bloke. He really was. And he was a real loss to the world. But yeah, no, he was quite funny, and he was very, very much an Australian.
I miss his shows.
Oh, look, he was brilliant. He really was. And I mean, look, the family have done all right, and Bindy's pretty good. But I tell you what, Bob is the spitting image of him, and he's going to be a real. I think he's going to be more the successor to his father than what Bindy is, to be honest. But anyway, we're certainly digressing a lot from farming simulator discussion. That's okay. That's what we're here for. So it is. Look, it is sad, and unfortunately, but one of the other things that I guess is getting on my soapbox a little bit. The other thing that sort of, while it is sad, the other part of it is that, yeah, it's sad that there was a natural accident and his kids have lost their father, but you know, that sadness happens to hundreds and thousands of families every day, and it doesn't make them any more special just because they're a celebrity. Now, I mean, I've recently had a personal case. But can someone just check that message from Bundy Bear to make sure that's okay, Chris or DC? And if it is, can you? Oh, he's deleted it. Oh no, Farmer Klein deleted it. Okay. Mustn't have been a very nice message. Yeah, so I mean, it is very sad. But the thing that I sort of, I guess I don't like about our media today is how it seems like it's so important that a celebrity has lost a member of the family or whatever else. It's no different to anyone else, and I mean, it's probably worse for others. I mean, like I've just recently, we had a member of our football fraternity pass away, and the difficult part about that was, you know, he went to his doctor and he was feeling a bit ill, and he turned around and said, "You've got 2 weeks to live," and he had cancer, had riddled his body, and he was so much into his football. He was a club executive and all that sort of stuff, and it just happened so quickly. And the last couple of weeks, he still tried to make sure that he got to his club's grand finals, and he was there in a wheelchair and all that sort of stuff, and with his young family and all that sort of stuff. And I mean, like, he spent like 50 odd years running football at his club and stuff like that. But the thing is, you know, you don't hear of those sort of stories. And I'm not saying that just because it's someone that's close to me, but they're the sort of ones that you feel a bit more for. And oh, did you say pusser? Bundy, is that what you said? Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Look, I understand why Klein jumped on that one, but yeah, pusser is okay. So pusser is a term. Okay, so let's sort of diversify here a little bit more. Pusser is a term given from the Australian, well, actually probably some other countries as well. It's given from the Army and the Air Force. They refer to Navy personnel. Now, the same going is the other way. We call Army personnel mangoes, green on the outside, yellow on the in. And it's just sort of rib stirring and that happens between the defence forces. It happens in every country. I know that for a fact. And yeah, so that's what he was referring to. He was referring to me as being a pusser, an old salter, Navy person. So yeah, that's all good. But I can understand why it was taken as the wrong way. How are you, Bundy? Welcome to the channel, mate. Appreciate you coming over. Oh, you're an AJ. Oh, dear. Well, yeah, well, you know where the door is? No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. He knows exactly what I mean. He knows exactly what I mean. This goes. I mean, most of you know what my relationship is with, for instance, many of the people in my channel, but particularly like myself and Eustace Pharmer. Well, that's a same sort of relationship you have between defense force personnel in the different arms of the military. But then, when push came to shove, like for instance, if AJ was in trouble, there would be no trouble. I'd jump in and put it all on the line to sort of help him. And Vicky Verka, the same would work the other way. I mean, it's an unwritten rule of comradeship and that from those that serve. So yeah, but anyway, Bundy knows where I'm coming from. He knows I didn't mean it. I hope. Anyway, all right. So we're just going to continue on with ploughing this field. Once we finish this one, that'll probably be about where we'll end, I think, because we don't want to do too many hours of just running around a field ploughing. So we've got our animals good to go. Hopefully I can get our Gwendia save back up and running, and we can get back on that at some stage. But yeah, brothers stand together. No, indeed, mate, indeed, and that's exactly it's an amazing bond, and for those that aren't aware of it, it's truly an amazing bond between ex-serving veterans, and that's not just, hey Bundy, thanks for the sub, bud, and that's not just to say veterans of your own country as well. Like I know, and I mean, look, the Americans are very unique in the way they revere and look after their defence personnel in general. But when you meet other veterans and then you sort of both realise you're veterans, and the rapport is instantaneous. And the respect and all that sort of stuff. It's an amazing thing. And I mean, I'm not saying that just because I'm sort of trying to highlight the fact of having served or whatever else. It's just the reality of the comradeship is something that never leaves you, and it's a strong bond that is made for even those that you've never met before, that once you realise that you've had that connection, that it's a very strong bond. So yeah, I treat that with great respect and much care, and certainly while I'm saying to that, I wish that everyone that is actually out currently serving in whatever defence force and country they're working for, out currently serving, that they stay safe and come home nice and safe to their families at some point in the near future. And to all my comrades in arms that have retired, veterans, all that sort of stuff, then hearty g'day to everyone. Tell you what, we've had a real different gamut of conversation topics tonight, or today. Normally, just
15 years.
Yeah, just over 15 years. Yeah. So enough to be significant, and enough to sort of get out and still have a bit of life left. Certainly 15 years I would do again in a heartbeat, and not something I'd ever regret. So that's exactly it, Tassie. You need to know that irrespective of what happens, that and it's the same as the bond that was created in those troops that went to World War One, World War Two, all that sort of stuff, Vietnam, the whole works and jerks, that you need to know, and you do know, that the guy to your left and your right will look after you the same as what you'll look after them, and that's a very special bond, indeed. You did 20 and got your pension. Good, nice. I just wasn't able to do 20. We were, I was basically just fatigued. I mean, we were operational that much, pretty much in my time, that there was just no time at home. I had, my first marriage broke down from just not being at home. And I just couldn't see myself doing another 5 to 10 years to make it worthwhile for super. So I got out when I could, I mean, I was only ever going to do 8 years and get my trade and then go and work for myself and do whatever I wanted to do, but I ended up doing double that, so that was enough. But I take my hat off here for doing 20, Bundy. Well done. Alright, so we've almost finished here. Yeah, we've been on it for a while, on and off. We haven't been back on it probably about, I think the last time we were on it was probably about 3 or 4 months ago. I mean, it was just our go-to live stream. I think it was actually the first my first live stream map actually. And we just come back to it every now and again. I mean, the problem is there's just so much in the way of good maps and that to do. But I've certainly enjoyed this map, but it's certainly not my favourite. But because of the fact of Gwendir died, and I'm not doing that Lone Oak live stream anymore because that was the realism series. So I'm doing multiplayer live streaming on Lone Oak, and I'm doing the Go Big Go Home recorded series on Lone Oak. Having 3 different sort of series on the one map was a bit too much, even though it's a great map. So we canned the live stream realism series and replaced that with Gwendir, but yeah, so Tassie Nate says, when you jump over to my Discord feed, said you might be made it. Oh mate, that's nice, thank you. You don't have to by any means, but I certainly appreciate it. I'll be over there as soon as I finish through here. I'll give him a couple of minutes. But no, I'll be over there, not a problem at all. Be glad to come over. In fact, it's probably remiss of me not to have been over there earlier. It's just you get in so many Discord channels, and really at the moment my concentration has always been obviously my channel, the Simulation Gaming Society channel, which is what myself, Eustace Pharmer and Grizzly Bear Sims founded. And then obviously in Eustace's and Grizz's channels as well. That's always the more important ones I'm associated with. Plus, I'm also one of the media partners of Frontier Design, so I'm over in their Discord a bit as well. So not enough time in the day to look after all these Discord channels sometimes, but no, definitely Tassie, I'll be. Oh well, yeah. Look, I know I'm royalty. I mean, being an Aussie and Tasmanian does make you royalty. I mean, that's quite right. All right, so we've finished here with this one. So we'll head back up to the farm. We'll park this guy. We need to start thinking about refueling him. Don't want to be live on camera and have the same problem I had in a solo game yesterday, where I was out driving a field and ran out of petrol, or diesel, more accurately. So yeah, so thanks everyone for joining. I would like to a particular shout out and thanks to Tassie Nate for joining. Well, what's going on? My game's locked up. Well, there we go. On that note, we're going to have to end it there. The game is locked up. Thanks again, Tassie Nate, for joining and sharing my stream over at your Discord channel, all that sort of stuff. It is greatly appreciated. And hopefully you're listening to all this. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us tonight. David, DC, Chris, Farmer Klein, everyone else that joined. It's greatly appreciated. And hopefully you'll join me back here at DoughBoy Gaming, hopefully with a game that doesn't lock up right towards the end. Thanks very much for joining, and we'll catch you all very, very soon. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and we'll see you very soon. See you later, guys. Bye.